Hey, welcome. My name is Tanya. I am a social media marketer and content creator. Today we are talking about 5 surprising social media hacks every business owner needs to know. Let's go ahead and dig right in. So we might think, oh my gosh, I created this great graphic, or I made this really awesome post, or I'm getting this really cool thing done. I'm going to post it, and then we're waiting. And we're like, okay, where are all the likes? Where are all the shares? Where are all the views? You might get a little bit discouraged and think like, oh my gosh, social media doesn't work. I've been there too. I know what it feels like when you have poured your heart and soul into this piece of content and you're like, nothing's happening. I want to let you know you are not alone, and it just takes a little bit of knowledge if you are using social media to boost your business. So let's get into number 1. The very first way that you can increase your reach with social media is to be personable. I told you this was going to be surprising. Being personable is what social media is all about. Social media is about connection. Today, especially those of us who have gone through COVID, right? We are hungry as a society for connectedness.
Together in the pot. Together we are hot.
We are wired as human beings, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree. I really in the comments, disagree if you think that we are not wired for connection. But I really feel like we are. And social media is one of the main avenues that people are connecting with other people. So these social media platforms, they really are not made to showcase the features of what you're selling. If you're doing that, then it's maybe time for a little bit of shift in strategy. You need to be posting something that's a little bit more personable, something that people can relate to. And that's really the goal of marketing, right? We don't want to just sell benefits and features, although that's an important part. Your product is important. Your service is important. People want a good product and service, but on these platforms, they want to connect. If you've wondered, why do these dancing videos go viral? It's because they're personable. It's because, how much more expressive can you get? Well, I am not recommending that you as business owners get up and dance in front of a camera, unless you want to. But really, the key here is not about dancing. It's about being connectable. It's about a little bit of vulnerability, and it doesn't need to be you that's being vulnerable as a person, although it can be. Really, it's about your brand being transparent and your brand being able to communicate really what you're all about. So a good social media marketer will be able to convey that to an audience. And I think that you as business owners are also able to really dig in and see, what is my brand really about? What are our values, and how do we get that point across? So, number 1 tip is to be personable on social media. Number 2 is to include video. I have a whole video about this, and I will probably be releasing a lot more as time goes on, but video is the number 1 way to convert a cold client into a warm, loyal customer. So if you are not including video, please do. This is the next step up. If you're posting pictures on Instagram, I hate to break it to you. It breaks my heart also, but Instagram is not pushing your content to people. In fact, the creator of Instagram came out and said in 2021, 2020? We're no longer a picture sharing app. We are now a video sharing app. And that was the direction that they went in. They've since backpedaled a little bit. They are showing a little bit more picture content, but it's really only to your followers. I cannot even tell you how much business you're going to be missing out on if you are not doing this one thing. If you want some strategies to overcome maybe fears of posting video, then check out that other video, see if that helps. If you have other questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to address those. Number 3. Include paid advertising on social media platforms. I know we want to think, I made this really awesome video, now I can release it and all the customers are going to come. As platforms age, they want you to start paying moolah for the reach. On your baby platforms, most of the time you get boatloads of reach. They just want people to get on the platforms. They just want people to start using the platforms. So they're going to show your content to thousands of people. You can get massive reach with what you're posting. That means you post something about your business and everyone sees it. But the fact of the matter is that especially if you're using an older platform like Facebook, I hate to say it, love them and hate them because they are an older platform. They do not push out business content. They really are expecting businesses to pay money for reach. You've got to be running paid ads, especially if you're using a tool like Facebook. The wonderful, beautiful, glorious, magnificent thing about social media marketing is that it is so far less expensive than Google Ads. I mean, exponentially less expensive. So this is why it works so great for small and medium-sized businesses. If you have a budget starting at $50, if you have a budget starting at $200, to put on that ad spend, then you can actually gain some great traction, especially on a platform like TikTok. Depending on what you're selling, choose the appropriate platform. I'll post a video about that as well, choosing the appropriate platform. But you really want to make sure that you're including some ad spend if you want some real growth. This is just a fact. It's just a fact of life. You might be starting your business and charge a base rate, but eventually maybe you're hoping to charge a little bit more. This is also the business model for these social media platforms. Who can blame them, right? But it is helpful for us to know it's not you. It's the algorithms that seem to shape everything that we do as business owners these days. Man, it certainly seems like these algorithms are king over even us entrepreneurs, right? And the final way to get more reach with social media is to test your content. When it comes to paid advertising, you really want to put money behind your highest performing piece of content. I have actually seen a number of other advertisers who they don't do this. And to me, I'm thinking to myself, your dollar could stretch so much farther in advertising if you did this one simple step. So it's something that I always like to do when it comes to advertising for the brands that I represent. But I think that it's really important if you're going to be the one managing your social media to include that step. And you might think oh, well, I really like this piece of content, and so everyone else will too. Okay. Surprisingly, the thing that you didn't think would do very well is the thing that does very well. And so if your audience is relating to that and the people that you're trying to reach are relating to that piece of content that you think is mediocre, you know what? What matters is posting what they like more than what we like. So I say go for testing your content and putting money behind what is actually working, not what we think is going to work. And the last tip, this is not new. I'm sorry. I just feel like it needs to be said, is that you need to be posting consistently. I know everybody says it. There's, all the information is out there, but I will say it really does make a difference. You have to be posting not just once. If you post once a month and then you're like, well, nothing's happening, there's no traction, I'm not gaining new followers, which isn't the most important thing in a small business, by the way. I'll have another video on that soon. But if you're expecting miracles to happen just because you posted one video or one picture, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's going to take a little bit more than that. And so at this point, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, social media is a full-time job, trust me, I've been there. That's why I started actually doing it for other businesses. You can't choose not to do it. unfortunately. If you choose not to do it, then your competitors get all the customers who are doing it, and you're kind of left in the dust. I don't want that to be the case for you guys. I really genuinely care about helping small and mid-sized businesses. I think you guys are the backbone to our economy, and oh so important. I love supporting small businesses as a consumer. Go ahead and leave me some questions in the comments. I would love to help you out in the best way possible. Until next time, keep it fresh.